Honourable members, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, the Honourable Member for Magamul say pray.
Our Father in heaven, we give you this honor
and praise and glory back to you. Today, we play sanap lo display house makimol mana Mary lo display country. Mi play inol man lo heaven di come up member lo display house. Mi play man Mary lo ground. Mi play gat aswa. But you makim mi play lo leadim o people lo display country. Osana papa. One makim blow you lo mipla you see mipla today. Lo mipla can talk lo heavy lo display country. So sit down blongol man Mary and by behind him like nothing thing blow you. Papa mipla committee display day go lo hand blow you. Osem na mipla gata la bungi mouse na walking big la prayer Jesus been line him all disciple. Our Father in heaven. Be done. Let us give us this day our daily bread. Minister, member belum tahu siapa.
Honourable members, in accordance with Section 221 of the Organic Law on National and Local Level Government Elections, I present the order of the National Court of Justice, which set as a Court of Disputed Returns, EP number 75 of 2022, dated 8 September 2025, in the matter between Mr. Emmanuel Loma Pamia and Mr. Maina Pano and the Electoral Commission, in which the court ordered that 1. The petition is upheld under Section 212(1) of the Organic Law on National and Local Level Government Elections. The election for the first respondent who was returned as the elected member for Kagwa Erabe Open Electorate is declared null and void pursuant to Section 2121H of the Organic Law on National and Local Level Government Elections. 3. The Electoral Commission of Papua New Guinea shall conduct a by-election for Kagwa Erabe Open Electorate forthwith, pursuant to Section 2123 of the Organic Law on National and Local Level Government Elections. 4. The candidate Topa Mata and any of his supporters engaged in the illegal practices are referred to the police for further investigation and prosecution for hijacking and stuffing of ballot boxes with illegal marked ballot papers pursuant to Section 1101 of the Criminal Code Act and Section 19114 of the Organic Law on National and Local Level Government Elections. The petitioner's 5,000 Kina security deposit shall be refunded forthwith. 6. The petitioner's cost in the proceedings shall be paid by the first and second respondent in equal share amount to be taxed on party basis if not agreed. And 7. Time for entry of disorders be abridged. Honorable members, I have to inform the Parliament of the death of Mr. Luther Wenge on the 13th September 2025. He was first elected to the 6th National Parliament in 1997 general elections, re-elected to the 7th National Parliament in 2002 general elections, 8th National Parliament in 2007 general elections, and elected again to the 11th National Parliament in 2022 general elections as the provincial member for Morobe. During those terms, he served as member of the Parliamentary Committee Referral Committee on Foreign Affairs and Trade, Deputy Chairman of the Parliamentary Referral Committee on Industry and Industrial Relations from July 1997 to July 1998, member of the Special Committee on Social Development, that's Education and Health, from November 1998, Permanent Parliamentary Committee on Plans and Estimates from November 1999, and Special Committee on Provincial and Local Level Government Reforms from June 2000. He was appointed Deputy Chairman of the Parliamentary Referral Committee on Education from 18 September 2007, member of the Permanent Parliamentary Committees on Law and Order, Pensions and Retirement Benefits and Standing Orders from 24th of August 2022. Chairman of the Select Committee on the Ombudsman Commission from 9th August 2023, and member of the Special Committee on Child and Youth Wellbeing from 29th of May 2025. He also served as the chairman of the Momase Regional Governors Council from 1997 to 2003, and launched the People First Party on 7th August 2001 in Ley, Morobe Province. As a mark of respect to the memory of the late honorable gentleman, I invite all honorable members to rise in their places. I thank the Parliament. Honorable members, I have to inform the Parliament that I have, in accordance with Section 110 of the Constitution, certified 11 legislations made by the National Parliament. A list of these legislations will appear in today's minutes of proceedings. Petitions, notices. Mr. Clerk.
The Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology and Sports gives notice that he shall present a bill for an act to establish and incorporate the Papua New Guinea University of Medicine and Health Sciences and for related purposes. The Minister for Coffee gives notice that he shall present a bill for an act to A, establish the National Coffee Authority, and B, regulate the coffee industry through a licensing framework and support the development of the coffee industry, and C, provide a framework for the administration of coffee of export fees, and D, provide a framework to ensure the quality of coffee, and E, provide a framework for market support and market access initiatives for the industry, F, provide a robust framework to support coffee research and extension, and G, repeal the Coffee Industry Corporation's Statutory Functions and Powers Act 1991 and for related purposes.
Ask him in order to talk for 5 minutes. Honorable Opposition Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Question blomi like Toromo Yosem Golo, Minister of Law Health, Milagim Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister. Now, Ogara Minister will take note. Mr. Speaker, in in the last 2 to 3 weeks, there has been critical shortage of medicine right throughout the country, medical drugs. We have received letters coming in from PHAs, 4 PHAs throughout the country, and they've indicated a critical shortage of medical drugs right throughout the country. A week ago, or 2 weeks ago, Mr. Speaker, I was in Alatau, and I was fortunate enough to be at the General Hospital when I was informed of the critical shortage of drugs. And thank you, Minister, for calling me back to explain. But this is not only about Alatau and Milne Bay province. It is about the shortage up at Hela. It is about the shortage within the Lutheran Church, church's health services. And it is about shortages in all the regions of Papua New Guinea. Mr. Speaker, there are a lot of deaths happening as we speak, and I'm talking about curable diseases, where we can sort out these issues, the medical issues. There is a greater need for urgent attention, not only from the minister and his secretary, but from the government as a whole. So question to me go Minister Osam. Minister, Osam, you may short the money? Osam, people blame me, kisim la important margin golo or housing? Or, Minister, Osam, you get management issues inside the Department of Health? Or Osam, some money in the budget where it's supposed to be monies for the health sector or health department have been reallocated to other sectors. You may say some life people blame me is very, very important. Now we cannot neglect and continue to allow the shortage of drugs, medical drugs, to our hospitals in Papua New Guinea, and not only hospitals, major hospitals, but the health centers and the clinics, the aid posts in our electorates as well. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister of Health.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank the opposition leader for this very important question. Firstly, it's not so much about funding. According to the records, government this year allocated 295 million kina lo medical supplies to the country. To date, according to the latest information mixing now, today it is over 150 million kina lo this amount. Today, this last week, manabla 50 million kina and government can release him medical supplies. I look savalo this la issue lo medical supplies affecting plenty of the country. We see some list going up in some of our hospitals, like all director of curative health services, all putting up Toxave, also operating theaters scaled down, or something also. We are fully aware. And we always constantly communicating with the medical supplies manager, executive manager of medical supplies. All the CEOs, they're giving us up-to-date information on what is actually happening. Yes, we can talk so clear also. Today, according to the 5 area medical or provincial medical stores in the country, we got up to 60%. 60% of what is required now is stopped. Now 40%, stopped. At the moment, there's a procurement process that's going through. They got tender now. There's a call for tender that's currently in place, and we hope, and our plan is to reach about 70–80% all provincial medical supplies, provincial transit stores by the end of this year. Now, by supporting to first quarter of 2026. That's the information we give him today. We are fully aware of what's happening in the country. Now we are trying our best to see that medical supplies procurement, we go along medical provincial transit stores, and then from the provincial medical transit stores, our logistics companies can access medical transit stores to the respective primary healthcare facilities. Now, some of the time, Mr. Speaker, one of the important issue we are finding out now is we have logistics companies responsible for one regions, and we now too. There's a lot of thefts going on with the medical supply system. Time all Marasin Lucy medical all provincial transit stores, and go one provincial the primary health facilities. You get some Marasin or Silim or Namelo Teslab. Many of these are now ending up at the market sites and Platilan public in it today. Mila talks have clearly emails them. Please you looking me got online is Salem all drugs where you got all medical catalog long all talks have na Milo by you got all fraud squad in place. There's a system in place to actually arrest anyone who is getting medical supplies outside the work Salem Marasin stuff. Something Mila talk clear. You try best blame me. I need to plan these challenges. As I speak today, he got all people track where supposed to deliver him on Marasin long Mount Agenda, Kolong Benimo Kukawe Gontablo, Highlands region. He got some lady come up now long on tablo slow section long abna. Instead of only carrying all Marasinigo, he got all Marasin all the Kai start so long lay. Naglo wait solo Salim Marasinigo yet start. There's some issues going on at the moment along the Okuka way. So I appeal to some of our people up there to please, Orukman, allow him all Martin supply go. These are some of the issues that we are actually facing. So that's, Mr. Speaker, we're trying our best under very difficult circumstances. I call upon the members of Parliament to also come in. Man, I'm thank you, the opposition leader who also was there at Alatau Provincial Hospital. Time the ring last time when he called me that time we were actually I was with the World Bank team. We were looking through our system. We have a M supply system in Salo office plumbing where we track the amount of medical supplies that's going through all the provincial transit stores. Now you got all hospital pharmacies. All the provincial hospitals you got all hospital pharmacies to stop. So this we found that there's also a lack of communication between the provincial transit stores and the hospital pharmacy sections. So this information must clear all along. When something only got at stock level, I call on all of those to actually communicate before only put him all talks have go out. Now two talks have go out. Sometimes the check him see or some there's information and true also we got lack of supply low this low sections or respective hospitals. Some of the CEOs were not aware that talks have go out and go issued by the respective curative health directors. Section 48, Section 49 of PHA Act, yes, allow him direct the curative health to issue him or look at him housing, but at the direction of the CEO. Now CEO almost talks about board past them. PHA board must survey also make that issue stop now. Almost saw what's happening before long. Only give talk survey, only put him out talk survey. Now the point where talk was a plant when I die because no got marasin. Even like Savelo, all die come up, one areas, one place. Now I want to get, we need to get this information through, so you may confirm him now, verify him. All die come up, one abna, one cause also die too. And Mambla something and me like ask him. There's another circulation of video going around in the social media now. To talk like at Planty 99 of PMGH. Mr. Speaker, this video was circulated long time of COVID-19. That video was circulated in COVID-19, so him planting lani die lohabna. Even katisi lo mortuary capacity lo all the more die body inside of PMCH. Today I want to make it like clear that at the moment PMCH addressed that area. Only got now 300 capacity of we can put him die line or body inside Lohab. At any given time they have about 80 to 90% occupancy rate. So meaning also you got space it. So we have no issue with our body lying all over the place in a mortuary or PMCH. So please, me like ask him also when we get this kind of information, he make him clear talk. not so clear. We know that there's challenges. There's a lot of challenges going on. Medical supplies procurement, provincial transit stores. From there, going back to communities. It's taking plenty of work to make him. I appeal to every one of us to portray to us the right information. We also always trying our best to address this. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member Blue Noticed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question without a notice, me like asking Police Minister. Our country law and order situation is, let me go west, it's getting to next level. And during that time, we have got 14 to 15 months before the next election. And I want to ask the Minister, the preparation for the security in all our provinces, districts, and in our capital city. How are we going to? If we got a plan already in place, you have to tell this House. Or if he's working on the plan, the security for 2027 general election. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Minister of Police.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I thank our good honourable member for Moresby North East, Honourable John Kaupa. Before I do make my reply, I want to appreciate the House. This is the first sitting after the 50th as a country. And I want to congratulate all leaders of the House in celebrating a peaceful independence. There were spikes here and there, but overall everyone made a tremendous effort in being with their people and celebrating our 50 years. So I think that's the first reference point to where we as a country with law and order must go. If the 50th anniversary was an indication of our country and who we are, we must maintain that as we go in the next 50 years. So I want to appreciate all of us in the efforts behind law and order. Honourable Member, the question is a very good question. And we all know the government has made it very clear in terms of increasing our numbers. We increase our numbers. We have invested in infrastructures right across our country. And we continue to try and address the most challenging part of policing today in our law and order with managing our police right across the country is at our middle management. We lack strong middle management policing that is able to hold the policing operational at our districts and provincial level. That we all can admit, because I get regularly conversations with a lot of leaders talking about their PPCs not being able to take control of their provinces, but it takes a collaborative effort on both sides to manage our law and order. And yes, 2027 is just before us. And we have made significant investment in policing. This week we will be opening up 300 more beds, which will increase our policing numbers, recruitment numbers to 700, which we will now start turning over in a year 1,400. So we are on target in increasing our numbers to around 10,000 policemen, regular policemen. So in terms of numbers, my good honourable member and my leaders of the House, the intent is there. There may be some challenges right across in terms of strong, decisive police management within their provinces and districts. But the greater challenge we have with law and order is not the law part. It's about the order. It's the mindset that is a really big part of what is now affecting the law. So we have made every effort, and we continue to do so. and we have not shied away from investing into policing. So far, in terms of even disciplining our own policemen, on record right now, this commissioner has now acquitted over 500 police officers to date, internally, from ill discipline. And it comes down to culture of the police force. And we are addressing culture, and culture happens over time. And that is what we are instilling into our new recruits. There are bad apples that have passed through the system, but we have made it very clear that even in the new recruits, you have 5 years probation period. No smoking, no drinking. One strike, you're out. And that's a culture, and culture doesn't happen overnight. Doesn't happen over a period of medium term. It actually happens over a long term, good culture. And that's the culture we want to bring back. So coming back to your question, that if we are ready, as a police force, we are equipped to be ready on all circumstances. And come 2027, we will be ready. And beyond that. So I just want to give you comfort. Every effort we are doing in managing our daily law and order in our country. And I want to thank all of you. As I took office, I've always said this is a partnership between provinces, districts, and the department. We cannot do it all alone. And I want to appreciate all of you because come 2027, we'll continue to be working collaboratively in addressing our law and order. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member Lalatau.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to ask my question to the Treasurer. Unfortunately, he's not here, so I'll ask this question to the Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, before I ask my question, I'd like to, on behalf of my people of Alatau, also say my late condolence, sympathies to the Governor of Morobe, who we will dearly miss in this Parliament as well. So I pass my sincere condolence to the family and to the people of Morobe and our leaders. Mr. Speaker, a question me centered around the Non-Tax Revenue Act of 2022 and the government's medium-term revenue strategy 2023 to 2027. Mr. Speaker, while I commend the Treasurer's efforts and of course the government's efforts in terms of working on the strategy to 2023 to 2027 in its efforts to reach a surplus budget by 2027 and of course maintain an annual growth of 5%. And of course, we hear the Treasurer trying to bring the budget to a surplus under a 13-year plan. Mr. Speaker, I am equally also concerned of this act and its impact on some of our economic sector departments. That includes fishery, forestry, of course oil palm, and the other sectors, coffee, KIK. Under this act, Mr. Speaker, non-tax revenue raised by these departments are swept and parked in the consolidated revenue. And so it's having a negative impact on how some of the departments that have needed community initiatives that can be supported are now being affected. Of course, most of the revenues raised are put in the consolidated revenue and parked with the Waigani public accounts to fund salaries and wages and ongoing government expenditure. Mr. Speaker, while the interest is noble, I am concerned that it comes to the demise of the sectors in investing for the growth of those sectors. For example, CIC needs to retain money for training and plantation rehabilitations. KIK also needs revenue to also rehabilitate plantations, training programs, oil palm levies, even our log levies. Some of us have been waiting for LADLs for over years. And so what this act is doing is it's denying us revenue that is supposed to come to the districts and impacted the provinces and districts to also undertake service delivery. Mr. Speaker, some of our departments are also struggling to implement their corporate plans. Department of Fisheries, for instance, they want to do coastal and inland fishery programs. They cannot implement because these revenues are parked in the consolidated revenue and they have to apply again for PIP submissions to support these programs. Why can't we allow them to directly invest in these programs?
We have a point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Napa member go straight to ask some question now. I'm giving people a statement to us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, big legal background, so Prime Minister can clear legal law. Sorry, Speaker. Can I continue? I'll just dive straight into my questions. Mr. Speaker, can the government undertake a review of the NTRA Act 2022 that is saving a demise on our economic sector departments and statutory bodies? Number two, Mr. Speaker, under the NTRA Act, can the Prime Minister assure my people of Alotau that our log export development levies that were held in trust for the last 6 years, close to 13 million, can be released? And finally, Mr. Speaker, can the Prime Minister inform the people of Oro and Milimbe, especially my district of Alotau as oil palm development district, on the oil palm shares paid dividends that was paid in cash by New Britain Palm Oil when they procured these shares in 2010. These shares held in trust by the state for the last 15 years for both these provinces. Can the Prime Minister look into these reports on the fully paid shares that were paid in cash and held in trust by government? I want to also acknowledge that the government has released 10 million on each of those provincial dividend shares, but respectfully, these funds have been held by state for the last 15 years. Thank you, Mr.
Honorable Prime Minister.
All right. Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and a good pleasure looking you. Now, I'll get a one walk, come back long house long people one more time. But I'm through, Milako, thank you long. Very good question. A series of questions asked by the member for Alatau. And before I get to answering these questions, I just want to say a big thank you to all members of Parliament as you all led in your district 50th anniversary occasions, or in your province's 50th anniversary occasions, and to the autonomous Bougainville government. We say thank you to 21 provinces and the Bougainville government, as well as all districts and our nation's capital, led by Governor Pakop, for wonderful 50th anniversary celebrations. Our country was visited by many of our visitors, and we do acknowledge the work that each of you leaders have put into this occasion that has passed. The good question asked by a member for Alatau, I want to firstly say he asked for a possible review, and review is not out of reach. The question is correct and in order. Certainly we can have a review and to see the mechanics of NTRA, that it must work well without killing the golden goose that lays the egg, so to speak. The rationale of NTR coming on board, Mr. Speaker, was such where many of the boards, they are not open for public scrutiny except through cabinet. So their work plan comes through cabinet. Of course, later on the minister does submit annual reports to the Parliament. But we have observed over time, And this backdates into possibly 2 or 3 governments up till the Pangu administration. Nothing against the boards, they operate by law, but the boards, to the understanding of all of us, the boards operate scrutiny of the minister and the cabinet process, and not fully to the parliament. It is the budget process that parliament has transparency and full knowledge of what is happening all over the place. We've seen many times when our board, for instance, is investing in PIP, and planning department also allocates similar money for PIP. And so there has always been overlap in terms of board's function with little scrutiny, except to the cabinet process and our own government PIP program. So we felt it was important, without compromising a percentage that must be held back and the core recurrent expenditures of those agencies. The residual balance of all this fund must be swept into the working public accounts, because the budget process is a transparent process where the entire leadership, all members on both sides of the House, we sit through and we have a look at the money plan for the oncoming year. So to try to mitigate, and not to mention the last few years, but I want to make mention on earlier years, when we have supplementary budgets, when we have surpluses, agencies were hoarding funds and running parallel programs, running their own programs, many times also pet projects that is not geared towards retiring the major focus of government. So we said, let's sweep the excess residual into working public accounts. The agency or sector concerned keeps a residual, and the formula, when I was finance minister, the formula we went was 90-10, 90-10. 90 swept and 10 is maintained by the department. And that is at net. The gross element of fund is retained. The gross depicts the recurrent expenditures. The department in its own work plan, the annual work plan, retains what it needs to retain, and the surplus, the profit, if they're making profit in simple terms, 90% is swept into NTRA or to the working public accounts. I want to indicate that there's a teething issue. Administration of NTRA may not be fully as intended for, and I want to give assurance to the member in his good question that we will certainly look at this. And I still hold view, and our government policy view still stands, that the excess, the balance, the windfall, the profit, 90% must come to working public accounts. It's not only in the statutory bodies like fisheries and forestry and the agriculture sector agencies, also for the Kumul companies, Kumul Mineral, Kumul Petroleum. They must support in the first instance the budget support of working public accounts. The residual to keep those companies or those statutory bodies running is maintained. I want to give assurance that an NTR review is being undertaken, in fact, and for us to really finalize this so that we don't kill the golden goose that lays the egg. It is still laying the egg, but the windfalls not kept at the board. Super majority at 90% comes to working public accounts, support the national development agendas instead of controlled by boards at their own level, sometimes funding parallel programs, sometimes doing things without full scrutiny of the entire parliament, except themselves and the structure that they report to. So the intention was good and is good. It's just the administration of this intention to make sure we don't sabotage the sector concerned, the agencies concerned, the statutory body. They are at work. For instance, National Forestry Authority, that the LEDL must not be compromised. It is an entitlement due to landholders and provinces concerned. So in respect to his second question, I will get my office to ascertain. If it is 13 million kina owing to the Alatau district, then certainly that fund must be found at the earliest and to be remitted to the district concerned. The forestry districts are entitled to their own revenue as much as the oil and gas district or the mining districts that are entitled to revenue that is provided for by law and in agreement. I want to also, in this last question, on the Oro Million Bay shares in the oil palm share purchase, I want to apologize to the people of these two provinces if the payment has been delayed. The sale transaction was facilitated in 2015. Money has come in since 2015. The first payment was done, I think, under this government's administration. 10 million each has gone to the two provinces, I think 1 or 2 years ago. I'll confirm in terms of my records is concerned. The balance is owing, and we will ensure we avail that as soon as practical, and the two provinces will, of course, receive their share of funding. If there are discussions, especially around Oro province, as to how we should give this funding, either in cash or kind. There are also proposals being thrown around on some of the state assets in this province, especially in an endeavor to make provinces become economic centers, self-sufficient, self-reliant, doing things they have to do. And so we're looking at other ways, but all in all, having said this, about 40 million kina is owed to the two provinces. 10 million has already come forth. Members of the two provincial governments, you are at your leisure to ask your provincial government's concern as to what happened to the 10 million kina that was sent. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The honourable member for Kerawagi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank you for recognizing the people of Kerawagi. I want to direct my question without notice to the Minister for Justice and Order General on the delay of the election petition case for Kundia Gembo open electorate. I rise to bring to the attention of this Honourable House, and particularly to the responsible Ministry for Justice and Attorney General, a matter of great concern affecting the people of Kundiangebo district in Simbu province. Mr. Speaker, it has come to my notice or attention that the election petition case for Kundiangebo open electorate has been delayed for an unreasonable length of time. This delay has left the people of Kundiangebo without a stable and effective political representation, resulting in serious disruptions to service delivery, development programs, and district administration. Mr. Speaker, the people of Kundiangebo continue to face challenges in accessing basic government services because of this prolonged legal process. District service improvement and other programs, government initiatives have been stagnant, leaving communities frustrated and development efforts at a standstill. The right to timely justice and political representation is the cornerstone of our democracy. Prolonged judicial delays not only deny justice to those individuals but also punish the innocent public who depend on effective representation in this Honourable House. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I respectfully call upon the Minister for Justice and Order General and the Chief Justice to take note of these situations and to advise this Honourable House on number one, the reason for the continued delay in hearing and determining the election petition case for Kundiangebo open. What measures have been taken, number two, to ensure the prompt resolution of this case? What mechanism can be put in place to prevent similar delays in future election-related matters that impact service, delivery, and governance at the district level? Mr. Speaker, I raise this matter not in isolation but in the interest of protecting the rights of our people to fair, efficiency, and transparent justice. The people of Kundiangebo have waited patiently, and it is only fair that this Honourable House ensure their voice are heard, their rights are respected, and their development restored. I therefore humbly request that this issue be referred to the responsible authorities for urgent attention and appropriate action. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member for Kerawagi, if the matter is before the court, then it's a matter before the court, right? And if it's not, then I would ask the Minister for Justice and Attorney to answer that question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Member for Kerawagi has asked a relevant question. But as it is now, the matter is before the court. So I'm unable to answer the questions that you need. And I'll find out with it. So we leave it to the justice system. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Suave.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for recognizing the people of Suave. My question, without notice, goes to the good Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, just last week, in quite a remarkable admission, the Prime Minister admitted that in the last 6 years, 56 billion of public money, taxpayers' money, had been spent with no results. This was a total indictment on the Marape government, Mr. Speaker. Now, my question specifically to the people of Simbu and Chuave, the Simbu provincial government, Mr. Speaker, has received 8.8 million kina in functional grants for 2025. It's due 34 million. That means that in the last 3 quarters of the year, 9 months, this government has just given Simbu provincial government only 25% of what it's due. 25%, Mr. Speaker. This is unacceptable. Yeah. I've heard so much lip service in here. You've been playing around with the people of Simbu and treating us like second-class citizens. I just want to know from the Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, 1, when is Trave going to receive the full DSIP? And that's a crummy 10 million kina, Mr. Speaker. We've been completely marginalized because this government has weaponized the budget. When is Simbu going to receive the full functional grant? When is Kaunui going to get their road, Mr. Speaker? And all these promises that we've been promised by the Marape government. Simbus, we are not second-class citizens, Mr. Speaker. We are not. We want equity in the budget, we want equity in budget implementation, and we want honesty in implementation. So when I called out the Prime Minister, he said that Chuave had received so much money. Mr. Speaker, I want the Prime Minister to also ensure that his Treasurer and his Finance Minister publish the expenditures. Publish so that the country can see what districts have received what funding from all this money that is just vaporized. These are my questions to the Honourable Prime Minister. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please, look Sawil al Simbu.
Honourable Prime Minister.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to say thank you to the member for Suave for asking an important question that ask whether we've been fair on all districts or not. I want to place on record that this government, since 6 years in a row, we've tried our utmost best to be fair to all districts and all provinces right across our country. Yeah. If we were not fair, this year, the Suave district would not have received 7 million kina transferred to the district to date. If we were not fair. All members in the opposite side knows also that they've received at minimum over 50% of all DSIP allocations to date. Some have received infrastructure grant component, Some have also received Kina for Kina policy grants. So long as they are complying to government policy under MTDP4, then those grants are also transferred to those districts or those provinces. The 56 billion Kina that I made reference to, Mr. Speaker, does not include recurrent component. It talks about the quantum transfer of money to the districts, the provinces, and the sectors, departments and statutory bodies since 2019. We are not a government that hides disbursement. We're being transparent, telling the country how much we've transferred. While some sectors deliver work, some sectors we need to be fully transparent. In fact, Mr. Speaker, last week, Thursday, I did ask the Auditor General to come to my office, and I asked him, I need a full report on all departmental agencies who have reported. Public Finance Management Act says by 31st of March every year, all sectors that receive public funds must account for and submit a report. So it is in order of the government of the day to ask for reports. To not to do so, it's just like what we've been doing in the past, giving money, not knowing what is happening in and around our sectors, in and around our departments, our provinces and districts. So just to, and the good member tries to sensationalize that we've been victimizing Simbu, far from it. He's been running this line for the last few years. He's got every right to think this way, but I want to tell the nation and to the good people of Simbu, you have not been systematically victimized. You have every right to ask on how much your districts have received or your province have received. This question is in order. The Finance Minister and the Finance Department is compelled to put out in public advertisement how much has been transferred to all districts and provinces, including the disbursements to Simbu and all provincial government in terms of recurrent, not just this year, but last year and earlier years since 2022, if not to 2019, since we've been in administration. So the record is put out to the public. I mean, you can loudmouth and say you have not received fund. I don't expect you to do miracles. But for instance, Suava district, to the tune of 7 million this year, produce a result. 7 million is not enough to do everything, but show the result of 7 million Kina. That's what I mean by reporting on what you have received. Suava district, 7 million Kina this year.
We have a point of order. What is your point of order?
I thank the Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker. Trava district has just received 7 million. Some districts have received over 50 million, 100 million. Just publish the expenditure report. Just publish it. Just publish it. Trava district on record has been the first district to provide its acquittals for 2025. Mr. Speaker, through you, Mr. Prime Minister, that's the record.
Honourable Prime Minister.
All right, at least the brother leader, colleague leader is admitting that it's not zero, but at least something is received. Yeah. And so, you know, that may not be 100 million Kina, but we expect result to the tune of 7 million Kina. Last year, all districts received minimum at 10 million Kina. If you, in opposite side as well as this side, if you have not received up to 10 million Kina, then please do indicate. Do indicate. We are a fair government. DSIP, you just have to ask a former head of government in the ranks of the opposition to know. Sometimes DSIP has been held back in the past. We've been fair on everyone distributing DSIP equally, PSIP equally.
We have a point of order.
I mean, the good Prime Minister loves to say these things all the time, blaming me for every sin that he has created, you know. Take some ownership of the things that you have created. You are Finance Minister. You're talking public law country or something. One more time, Peter News are in the minute talking me, please stop him over the DSIP. Not once. So please, enough lo talk gaman, misleading, talk masim tintin blolman. O sem gaman blow health minister too. Lo talk about some money come na marasin no stop. There's no proof. Stop the lies. And own up to say, yes, we play in a working, so we will do it. That's what we expect you to say. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, you have not ruled whether it's a point of order is in order or out of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Prime Minister.
All right, Mr. Speaker, I just thought we resuscitate the life into this afternoon in Parliament. And it takes one to know a one. And so I just want to appreciate the intervention, the point of order the member for Yellow Pange made, but on record, when the member for Suave asked on the performance, Mr. Speaker, final budget outcome 2024, final budget outcome 2023, final budget outcome 2022, final budget outcome 2019, final budget outcome 2018, final budget outcome that predates all administrations are there for public scrutiny. Final budget outcomes affirm to the people's house and the country how our government has delivered on their commitment in as far as our budget bills were concerned. Now, I don't need to tell all of you how we've delivered. Just look at the final budget outcomes of all these years and make comparison whether we have remitted funds to provinces or districts or the sectors. This crucial, transparent document called final budget outcome of all years that Treasury provided on the floor of Parliament every year as required by law is there for all of us to ascertain and appreciate the disbursements. But the question the member for Suave asked is in order. We need to indicate as to which district and provinces and departments have received what. The 56 billion kina I made reference to, the questions on Connect PNG, whether it's bearing result, the questions on state enterprise, whether it's bearing result, the questions on education, health. We allocate budget, but the country needs to know what has happened. We've set up the National Monitoring Authority, not to reinvent the wheel, not to be in the face of sectors, but at arm's length. Right now, as I speak, NMA will not be out there checking, but we are engaging Deloitte. We are engaging the audit firms to get out there and follow the money trail, so to speak, so that the country knows year in, year out, Treasury passed budget, funds disbursed, but we need to get into a system where we are following the money trail, so work is happening. The people across our country see what is happening. So I want to really close this time. I can't take up much time. I thank the member for asking the questions. To my knowledge, the last 3 years, Suava district has picked up a little over 40 million kina. This year alone, 7 million kina to date. Last year, minimum 10 million kina transferred. Simbu is not targeted. Karamui Road that he mentioned, my government, under our watch, to date since 2019, have allocated close to over 50 million kina. But districts want to do their own road, provinces want to do their own road, and so I've made intervention now, Works Department last Saturday, which is the key, easiest, quickest economic road to get from Karamui into Kundiawa. And so, please, members concerned, if you have your preferential roads, we could keep on supporting. And it's not only happened under this term of Parliament, but last time we started the allocations. And I want to say that support, to the best ability, we distribute to all provinces equally on what we feel each province should get. But if the good member feels that Chimbu province has been unfairly treated, I will certainly pleased to submit the records so that we know once and for all how much we have distributed the last 3 budgets that we have supervised under this administration. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, question inoka tok sabe belong and I'll ask him inoka tok sabe time long and popular 10-5 minutes and me finish. Leader of Government Business.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Parliament do now adjourn until tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Question is that the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. The ayes have it. Leader of Government Business.
Thank you. I now adjourn.
Honourable members, Parliament is now adjourned to 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.